In the last video on this channel, we spoke about how guys that aren't producing at the Four Nations Face-Off tournament is not really a big deal. Like, Sam Reinhart is a top-line winger for Team Canada. He has no points. Okay. Cale Makar, Adam Fox, fantastic defensemen who are usually up there on the score sheet. They're not producing any points either so far through 2 games. You have a whole bunch of other talented guys who have not found the back of the net or the score sheet in any capacity, even on Team Sweden. The Philip Forsbergs, the Elias Lindholms, even the Rickard Rakels. But of course, just because guys are not producing, even though that's not the biggest deal in the world, it doesn't mean they are exempt from criticism. Today, we are heading over to a bigger conversation point about Vancouver Canucks superstar Elias Pettersson. Because, like all the other guys, he has gotten 0 points in 2 games, and admittedly, he has played in a way that has garnered some discussion around him. We'll just leave it like that. Now sure, Pettersson has had some good moments at this tournament. He's been drawing calls. That is what he does in Vancouver. That is what he did here in this daily face-off. Daily face-off? No, Four Nations face-off. Excuse me, my brain is filling in the blanks with some of the wrong words here. But Elias Pettersson ended up drawing the Alexander Barkov hook in the 3rd period, which gave Sweden the power play. Now, sure, they didn't end up scoring on that power play, but still, Pettersson was there, and he was doing what it is that he literally does best, which is drawing calls. But I wanted to turn your attention to an article posted on CanucksDaily.com that goes out there and talks about the struggles that EP40 has gone through this Four Nations face-off and whether or not this really is that big of a deal. John McIntyre posted this yesterday. Elias Pettersson's struggles continue at the Four Nations. Is this a growing concern for the Canucks? The article then talks about this. 0 points, 2 Swedish losses, and a performance so unremarkable that the casual viewer might not have even realized he was playing. Unfortunately for Canucks fans, this mirrors his NHL season all too well. Many hoped this international break would help Pettersson reset, but instead it's only highlighting his ongoing struggles. And I don't want to necessarily say that he has been invisible like this article implies. Drawing the penalty was a good thing, but he hasn't necessarily stood out much outside of that. Liam posted this tweet here that garnered almost 1,000 likes, and how many views did this get? Almost 100,000 views. We blamed JT Miller. We blamed the Canucks room. We blamed his line mates. We blamed the coach. We blamed his injury. We said give him time. Well, Pettersson, all those issues have been completely debunked. He's playing with the best of the best, and he is still invisible. And then there are some replies like, how is the injury debunked? All the Canucks staff is saying that he's healthy, which may or may not be fabrication, but if we assume that the word of the Canucks is gospel, then yeah, okay, we have to treat him as if he is healthy. It's hard to really go out there and be like, oh yeah, like he's hurt, he's definitely hurt, when the team repeatedly shoves it down our throats that he is not hurt and that he's fine. Patrick Allvin not even acknowledging the idea that he could be hurt at this time. There are some folks in the replies of this Twitter thread that are talking about the same narrative that we have seen for weeks here in Vancouver. Hey, they traded away the wrong guy. They shouldn't have traded away JT Miller because he's the heart and soul, heartbeat leader of this team. How Pettersson is the guy who should have gone instead because his play even without Miller on the squad has not improved. Then you have yourselves replies like this. Millerson, who is definitely a Canucks fan, went out there and said, if you think that Pettersson's been invisible, then you're just watching the scoreboard. He made some nice plays, and his biggest issue is not shooting. He has an amazing shot, incredible IQ, and his skating has been average. By no means has he been completely invisible. And then a reply says, not invisible, just transparent. He needs to shoot more and get a bit faster. Those are fixable things. We have a better chance at winning if we keep him and try to get him out of his slump. McKinnon went through something similar, and I'm sure the Avs are glad they kept him. And then the extra reply says, maybe we can trade for McKinnon. Okay, that's not going to happen. Skating speed is definitely below average. He used to have incredible IQ and a shot. Maybe signing the big contract has put too much pressure on him. But he definitely isn't the same player since signing. And he doesn't have Miller as an excuse. His skating speed is 0.06% below average, not ideal, but he can get it back. He still has an incredible IQ. He's shown it in the tournament and the past few Canucks games. His shot is still elite, 94 percentile in shot speed, and he's shown his elite accuracy recently. And look, I get that this is coming from a more optimistic point of view. It's very positive, and there will be Canucks fans that can agree with saying, yeah, Pettersson has hockey IQ. We're not going to dispute that. We know that he has one of the best thinking minds in the game right now. It's why he was so successful those past few years. It's just in this season's worth of play with Vancouver and for good chunks of this tournament, we're not seeing that. And sure, you can say that it's because he's playing a game where he's forced to be guarded and other teams are really heavily monitoring his shooting lanes and trying to give him a difficult time, and it's been working. But $11.6 million caliber players are supposed to be able to work around that. I don't know. Maybe he's just taken a little bit longer to evolve into that mold, to blossom from that cocoon as that $11.6 million caliber butterfly. If we go over to some of the other thoughts here than this, a reply says he looks no different than Linus Karlsson or Nils Åman right now. And I don't want to go out there and fully harp on the guy in a negative way, as if we're not already doing that by making this gosh darn YouTube video. But, I don't know. Lost in all this is the fact that JT Miller is going to play Elias Pettersson tomorrow on Monday, so maybe the Pettersson-Miller saga will take another leap in tomorrow's game action between USA and Sweden. But for now, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How are you responding and feeling Elias Pettersson's performance in this tournament? Sure, he's got 0 points, but there are a bunch of guys in this tournament who have 0 points that are good players, better players than Elias Pettersson, so it's fine, the point production, I would say. But outside of the point production and the drawing penalties, has there been enough in Petey's game that you are a fan of? What are your thoughts on the way he has been playing? What are your thoughts on how he's going to play tomorrow? Do you think this is going to give him that jolt of confidence that he needs to fully take over the Vancouver Canucks one more time like we know he should be doing? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.